So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research.
Okay.
Nice to see you again.
And you, sir.
Wonderful moment. And I want to take a moment and give all the credit in the world to Donald Trump. I've been loud. I've been loud on this show about him when it relates to January 6th political prisoners. Donald Trump walked into the Oval Office and turned them all loose on day one. And good job, Mr. President. Well done. All the credit in the world to you. And these people, look, you can't ever give them back their 4 years. The evil communists who ran this country for 4 years destroyed these people's lives, took their money, took their freedom. They lost spouses. Some took their own lives. But today is a wonderful, wonderful day. Here's Marine Corps Captain Christopher. Well, here he was.
It's been 4 years. 4 years of fighting, 4 years of struggling, and I'm finally free. I don't even have the words to thank President Trump for what he's done for us.
It's a wonderful moment. Congratulations to all of you wonderful January 6ers who had the federal government declare war on you in ways we have never seen in the history of this country. I am still just watching videos like that. It fills me with happiness and rage. The evil people who did that to these people, there has to be some sort of a reckoning for that. People have to go to jail. The OJ people must go to jail for what they did. FBI people too, they must go to jail. Will that happen? I don't know.
USA! 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 USA!
Pretty cool moment outside the DC Gulag. Joining me now to spike the football, take a victory lap, because daggone she earned it, is the wonderful Julie Kelly. Go subscribe to her Substack, which is called Declassified. Julie, I don't even know that I want to ask you any questions. Maybe I'll just hand you the show for 10 minutes. Please, fire away.
Impossible, Jesse. There's no way you're not going to talk for 10 minutes. First of all, Jesse, I want to thank you because not only for having me on your show so often and covering my work, but all the posts that you put on social media, supporting blanket pardons and highlighting the plight of J6ers. This has all been a team effort. And so I want to thank you so much for that. That being said, what a sight outside of that DC Gulag, which of course we've covered now for almost 4 years, and really a sight I never thought I would see is not just defendants being released after being pardoned, but also all the media attention and other J6ers, Jesse, who have been released from other federal prisons across the country, going directly to the Gulag in support for those men and women who, I guess they're making it a really difficult time releasing them, but they will be out, I'm sure, by the end of the day.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, Julie. Why are they still being held? Donald Trump's the president. He says let them out. They're still being held. What?
Well, because they're run by Democrat Marxists who work for DC Mayor Muriel Bowser, and they want to extend the torment of these DC those in custody there as long as they can. Now, the DC Gulag operates as the holding pen for defendants who are going on trial or being arraigned or going to be sentenced. So that's why there's so many there, because, Jesse, they had 2 jury trials last week. They had sentencing hearings last week. All of those have been dismissed and dropped and off the schedule. So now they're saying, oh, it's a paperwork glitch. We have to figure this out. But that's why you have men and even women like Rachel Powell, who's been there since January 5th, waiting to be resentenced. And I saw on social media she was just released. So that's why there's so many there. It's kind of the holding pen for whoever has to go to the DC courthouse a few blocks away.
Julie, recap, if you will, what these people have gone through for 4 years, because they don't get their 4 years back. They don't get their money back. Some of them don't get their spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends back.
Their lives.
That genie doesn't go back in the lamp. Yeah, their lives, Matthew Perna and others. But go ahead, recap it for us.
So, I mean, this has been unprecedented in American history. And I'm not saying that. That's actually words that Joe Biden and Merrick Garland have said themselves, that this is an unprecedented criminal investigation. Now more than nearly 1,600 defendants before it was officially shut down yesterday. So they have been brought up on bogus charges, including one felony count that was overturned by the Supreme Court. They have been denied release on nonviolent offenses like obstruction and conspiracy, something that never happens. They have been brought up on federal misdemeanor charges. It's something the chief judge of the DC Circuit in early 2021 said, I don't even know how to deal with this petty offense, Class B misdemeanor. We never handle charges like this in our courthouse. Nonetheless, hundreds of J6ers hauled before judges on these misdemeanors. And then, of course, the egregious seditious conspiracy convictions that typically reserved for real terrorists, Jesse, not people who organize and attend a political demonstration in the nation's capital. So bogus charges, highly partisan, vengeful prosecutors led by bloodthirsty officials at the DOJ, Merrick Garland and Lisa Monaco and Matthew Graves, thrown before the wolves of DC juries, all Democrats, which is why they have a 100% conviction rate, and then sentenced to excessive prison time with terror enhancements added by the DOJ and federal judges. I mean, will be years judges in Washington what they've done.
Julie, who's going to jail? Is anybody going to jail? I'm talking about people who were part of the DOJ. I'm talking about January 6th committee people. These are crimes that were committed. Is jail time in the future for any of these people? Because I want it.
Well, so do I. But as you know, Joe Biden pardoned the entire January 6th committee members and investigators and the 4 crying celebrity cops who perjured themselves during the first televised performance in the summer of 2021 and repeatedly perjured themselves in court proceedings as witnesses and as victims, believe it or not. So they are off the hook. But who has not been pardoned? Merrick Garland was not pardoned. Lisa Monaco, the Deputy Attorney General, was not pardoned. Matthew Graves, the DC U.S. Attorney, who really was responsible for the most vicious parts of this prosecution, was not pardoned. Neither were any of his line prosecutors or the so-called Capitol Siege investigation deputies. Or, I have to throw in there, special counsel Jack Smith and his team of thugs, also not pardoned. So it kind of, in a way, the pardons by Joe Biden sharpens the focus for Trump's DOJ and Congress where they should go. And that's the target list right there. Let's hope that they pursue it.
Julie, what do we make of the Mark Millie pardon? It was pretty easy to figure out why he would pardon somebody like, well, all of his dirtball family members. But Mark Millie, what do you make of that?
So Mark Millie has his dirty fingerprints all over January 6th, and he was plotting early in mid 2020 how to help get rid of Donald Trump. He talks about it in his book. I would point people, we have a very elaborate, detailed piece at my Substack, Declassified with Julie Kelly, that recounts all the things that Mark Millie did and said in the lead up to January 6th. He was involved in things as a military officer, domestic law enforcement, which is a crime, as you know. And he was on phone calls with local DC police. He was surveilling the Proud Boys. He was conducting domestic intelligence. That's not his job. And then at the last minute, classified all of his records pertaining to January 6th. I know he might be pardoned, but we better open up those books. Incoming DNI Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, or Devin Nunes, who now handles this separate advisory committee on intelligence. Let's see what Mark Millie's book says, because he was a key player in the Fedsurrection on January 6th.
How about that? Julie, congratulations. Wonderful day and wonderful work to you. Really good job. way to stand up for the little guy. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.